Okay, good morning, everybody. It's another sunny day here in paradise. We love our winters, and it's a cold time of the year, but of course, with a certain knowledge, you don't have to be afraid. So, the topic of today's conversations will be home, and our housing crisis could be a part of this need. So, when so many people seemingly caught into the real estate market and prices of the properties skyrocketing, allowing some people become very rich and successful, and others scrambling. Literally becomes a situation where those who have, they are the masters, and those who have to pay the masters to stay somewhere would become the slaves by virtue of needing to work in order to pay the high rent. And there is another alternative solution that I propose, which is rather radical again. I'm not saying the government is going to agree with it in a moment, but personally have been experimenting and living in a camp-like situation in nature since 2000. So 24 years, with few exemptions where I was dragged into some bedrooms. I did live in open space and even continue living. So as you could see, instead of walls, I have some grapefruits growing and bananas on the other side, surrounded by nature. So the pros and cons. I so far find much more overwhelming pros to this lifestyle, and I start bit by bit. So to build a place, usually very easy. It's like making a cubby house. Say we can take kids for a weekend trip and task them with building themselves a shelter in which they can survive the night. That's the beginning of it. So the essential and central part to this survival is, of course, the fireplace, which is kind of ancient friend of human, right? Even more friend than a dog. You can bring a dog as well. I don't have a dog yet. Then over the fire, you have to create some protection. Some kind of roof is a big one. And of course, there's roofs that are easy to make and roofs that is quite difficult to make. I chose the easy way, which is just a bamboo, which grows in abundance around. So with the help of a friend, the whole thing takes one day to erect. So here you go, one day roof which lasts you a number of years. So after roof is complete, you need to, of course, organize a little bit sitting place. I went as far as to build a little deck, but even that was rather innovative, because prior to that there were pallets. Even prior to that there could be some mulch on the ground. Literally we can live on the ground. There's nothing scary about it, at least in a country like Australia, right? If we look back in the history of the indigenous population, did they build houses? I don't recall. I don't think so. They built some shelters, admittedly, and they walked away from places which became too wet or too cold or too hot, which gave rise to nomadic life, which is also another question that we could have been discussing. But even without moving away to other territory, we can prepare ourselves for some changes in atmosphere, like rain. Say, people say, don't you get rain coming in? Well, it's dripping on all sides, yes, but you fix it bit and bit, and I do like sound of the rain, helps with my insomnia. So easy to erect, cheap, using local ingredients, building materials. What else we have? You get natural light, which reduces the need for energy use of electricity. You get connected with the environment, which is like overlooked thing, but it's good for us to hear the forest. And by listening to it, we become connected to it, we become to care about it more. Instead of having pets, I have, for example, bush turkeys and various other animals come and give me company. I've got lizards living on the couch, the birds nesting in every corner of the place. So, connection to nature, we've got through that one. Mental health. It's an obvious fact that when you're outside, you're less prone to mental illness. When you're trapped in, and the housing could have that effect, it's something that usually creates a feeling of separation and could lead to mental disorders. What else do we have here? There were so many facts. I should have written them down. Maybe I have. Just a moment. I'll consult. So, yes, details. So what do we do with the showers? There is no shower, and therefore not likely you bring here a woman which requires shower for sure. Fire bath. I don't know if camera can reach that far. It's a very practical solution for giving you at least a once in a week wash. It's a little bit a chore. Admittedly, you have to fill it up. You have to start the fire underneath and keep it until the water is to your liking temperature. But the positive aspect of it, you can sit in there and the coals will keep the water hot for a long time. After you finish washing yourself, you can dump your eggs in there and give them a laundry service that way too. Toilets. Compost toilets are definitely recommended and is a preference over the flushing facilities. As we all know, the pollution doesn't stop with using of the flushing systems. All the sewage goes somewhere. There's a continuous overflow in the ocean, in the rivers. We know that. Whereas carefully constructed the compost system allows then to reuse these nutrients. It's not a waste. It's potentially a nutrient for planting trees and other fertilization program. Imagine 8 billion humans would not flush it, but would collect it and would transform it through the thermolytic fire into the nutrient. The earth could sustain itself better. Of course, it could be all an excuse that I'm just a lazy guy, but a certain laziness could be even a virtue, you know, like Homer Simpson, I think, say that if something is hard to do, it isn't worth doing. Building a house is hard. Admittedly, you know, where do you get money? All these cars, all this traffic, you need a road. I don't even have a road. It's nice to have a path that leads to your place. You know, it's a little bit more hidden, cul-de-sac. Freshness of air. The big overlooked fact. People hide in the bedrooms in the cold temperature or in the rainy days and restrict the flow of air through their habitat. Whereas when you live outdoors like myself, it's the same freshness of air as in a surrounding forest, which is a big difference. You try. You walk out of your bedroom at night for peace and breathe there. It's different quality than outside. That could be very detrimental to the health. I personally think, despite I'm not a perfect, I eat junk food, I smoke, I drink, but I sleep outdoors, and that compensates a lot of things. It's better to have a couple ciggies a day and then sleep outside than be this perfect organic vegan and then sleep in some stale bedroom with no airflow. Right. So ecologically, did I mention, of course, it will be much less destruction to this planet. The bush turkey is also here already. This is a female one, huh? Well, there's a couple, they're always digging, they're making homes, you know. It's like, if we are from this earth, where have we lost the skill to live in our home? Our home meant to be nature. Of course, there's a chance that we might be part aliens. This is an alien hypothesis, a whole new talk I will dedicate to that. In this case, we're maladjusted, we don't have enough fur, we feel cold, we feel not really at home. In this case, Elon Musk and others already searching the space for our presumed other home where we might belong. However, before that, it would be very beneficial to give it a try, to adjust to this nature bit by bit. I'm not saying straight from your bedroom into the grass, Take little steps. Spend more time outside. Don't be afraid of the sun, of the wind, of the rain. Make friends with elements. It will help your immune system. You will develop resilience. Your ability to adjust to the change of the temperature, light, whatever, will increase. Unlike people who live in a home, we know that they create a comfort zone where the temperature, humidity, light, everything can be adjusted to one's liking. That makes a man weak. Like say, if you're sleeping on the ground, which is hard, it makes you more flexible, it makes you softer. But when you sleep on a soft mattress, it accommodates your tensions and never challenges them, and therefore you remain stiff. So here you go. The variety of phenomena around you is actually good for you. So instead of hiding from it, we better expose. And then we also can probably get away from the unhealthy mortgages and all the financial pressure that people experience. We can even get away from the council who doesn't like it, clearly. Rich people don't want hippies to live somewhere in the bush next to nothing, growing their own pumpkins, I've got pumpkins, collecting wood and not going to work, right? Because then rich people's money will worth nothing. If people like us will enjoy the sunshine every morning, having a leisurely cup of coffee, who's going to go to work? Those people are not happy. So they want to trap you in a box, which will cost you like $300 a week for mental anguish, climbing up the walls, always driving somewhere because you can't stand that box that you live in. Yeah, it's a trap, it's a prison, and it's a slavery. So I would especially appeal to younger people who still got life ahead of them and probably strengths to do it, to find a place in nature, even walk somewhere, and make a quiet little spot. Don't bring all this heavy machinery. Make a simple camping spot. Start with a fire, a sitting place, protection from the sky, from the rain. Slowly, day by day, you add something. And you live like this for a week first, maybe 4 months. Before you know it, it'll become your lifestyle. 24 years living outdoors, man. No complaining. I'm already 55. I still feel like 25. Yeah? So, if I remember some other aspects, I will add them later. But here you go, fruits of nature. This is all growing, growing in nature. So we don't really need all this kind of elaborate supply systems from the government, because anything that they give to you that binds you to that system eventually will be used to control and oppress you. This is how it works. So independence, my friend, is another benefit of organizing your place in nature.